Hi, this is apartment 703, and today we're going to talk about anti-terrorism bill and the Niqab controversy and a couple of other things. So where do you want to start, Niqab?
I think yeah, we should start with that.
So in case you've been living under a rock for about the past month, you probably heard about Stephen Harper saying it was offensive for a woman to cover her face during the citizenship ceremony. And I don't know about you, Richard, but I know you're a very patriotic person. So-
I believe yes, I am very patriotic, but I just don't believe that the fact that this country is based on freedom and what you want to do with your life, and the government has very little to affect your freedom, and what you
Yeah.
choose to do is right for you. And we're making such a big deal of a headdress. Like I'm not even I don't follow this topic as much as you do, but I don't see the big deal in it. I really don't.
Well, the thing is it's come to the point now where all the conservatives are double downing on this, doubling down on this, because they believe that if they continue to bash Muslims, that it's actually going to get them better poll results for the election, and it actually is working at this point in time. And that's the saddest part about it is that they don't want to talk about the economy because they fucked the economy. They don't want to talk.
The economy's gone.
They don't want to talk about anything else that's going on in Canada because they fucked everything else. And now they're just going to talk about how much they hate Muslims because that appears to be the new trend lately.
It's unfortunate that this country that has accepted a lot of different cultures in our country's history. We've had a lot of immigrants, and we're still in 2015. We're still at that point where it's like if a politician can bash somebody, let's jump on board with that politician and vote for him because he's spreading hate to one particular
group that we don't know anything about or understand.
Which is sad because there are lots of groups that have come to Canada. I'm not saying that be racist is okay to get poll results or anything like that, but you're only picking on one group and there's hundreds of groups. Pick on even if you were to pick on the white man, let's see how far in the polls you'll get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just pick on
and,
him.
and we've done just as bad things as anyone else, right?
God, yes.
So I'm going to play a clip of another Conservative MP this morning, Tuesday, and what he said about the Niqab, because it's actually quite interesting because he's going even further than the Prime Minister had went in about a month ago. So let's take a look.
Let's listen to that. I want to hear that.
What do you think about this latest blow up about people? Some of them thinking they should be able to cover their face when they go for their citizenship.
I think that's wrong.
Okay, well,
I know it's wrong.
Well, I really appreciate you saying that, Joseph, and because it's true, and it just baffles me that lady, challenged this in court and won. I don't know what the heck our justice
system.
people are legal. Yeah, it's more a legal system than it is a justice system, but that isn't right. And frankly, if you're not willing to show your face in the ceremony that you're joining the best country in the world, then frankly,
then you're back.
Yeah, frankly, if you don't like that or don't want to do that, stay the hell where you came from is the way. And I think most Canadians feel the same. That's maybe saying it a little harshly, but it's the way I feel. I'm so sick and tired of people wanting to come here because they know it's a good country, and then they want to change things before they even really officially become a Canadian. So I have no sympathy for her, and I hope that it's going to be challenged by our government if it isn't already
if
said
you don't
so.
win, something's wrong.
I agree, Joseph. So thanks for the comment.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. He doesn't just think he's right. He knows he's right.
He knows.
That's some hardcore conservative right there. That's some conservative thinking. It's like whoa. He doesn't just not think he's right. He knows he's right.
Yeah.
And that's scary. And that's scary because that right there is sending a message to the rest of the world saying, we don't want you to come here. Our country's too good for you.
Yeah.
Stay where you come from. Go back where you come from. Get out of our country. Wow. That's a great image and a great message to the rest of the world from Canada. From what we're normally known as the nicest people in the world, we are that ignorant against someone else and telling them to go back or stay out. That's
Well, it shows that it's all ideology anyways, because he goes, I don't think I know. Like, he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He's saying something, that is completely his opinion and saying like it should be Canada's opinion. Like he also said at one point, I know all the Canadians feel that way. It's like, who are you speaking for? Like, you're not speaking for me. You're not speaking for a majority of the people here. A majority of the people here are immigrants. So, I mean, at what point does...
Basically, unless you're a Native Indian, you are an immigrant too, so you should just shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Honestly.
And the other thing he said was like, I can't believe that she won against us. Like,
who's us?
It's like, yeah, it's like some sort of anti-Canadian conspiracy that she came here just to attack us in her own courts. Like, oh my god!
I'm pretty sure she came here for a buttload of other reasons.
Yeah.
Maybe the fact that she has more freedom here, but then the first time she tries to test her freedom, she's slapped in the face with this.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Like, didn't she leave the country she came from to escape that kind of...
Exactly.
And now this... Like,
it's once again, it's a bunch of white men telling women how to dress. Like this hasn't been done before.
yeah.
It's like, and we talk about, in Arab countries, women don't have any freedom at all. And then she comes here to get the freedom that she wants, and then we go and tell her that she can't do certain things.
Yeah.
It's like, how would you let her to fucking decide for herself what she wants to wear on her face, and you fucking leave her alone?
This argument wouldn't be happening is if you took a nice white girl, right? You put her in a mini skirt, a two-top, and you march her down the main street in Toronto. It's like,
Oh yeah,
that is nice.
That's the liberated woman.
That's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she has the freedom to show her body like that.
Yeah.
That's a miracle. I love that. and then at the same point, you have a Muslim girl that's dressed head to toe, and she's doing it because she believes in that, and that's part of her religion, and that's everyone has the right to believe in whatever religion she wants.
Like, who's it hurt?
So she is believing in her religion, and that's acting on it. We can't have her walk down Main Street trying to be like, oh God, these women, I tell you, I feel bad for them. They're covered up like that, and it's like some conservatives will attack the facts with stories about how women are abused in that religion and women aren't treated right. But that's from an ignorant point of view, from the outside looking in. You're not in that culture. You're not in that family. You don't understand that religion.
And domestic violence exists in white Christian families as well.
Oh, God.
I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, we point out everything bad about what happens in Muslim society while it's still happening in our society, and we claim that we're somehow superior. I don't understand how that...
The KKK is fully Christian.
Yeah, they claim to be very vehemently Christian. They burn crosses. I mean... But, like... This is another fucking step in the direction towards Islamophobia that we've been going under Stephen Harper. This they're the outsiders. They're gonna hurt us. That we have to stop them. They're here to change us. I see no evidence of that, and I think most Canadians don't see evidence of that. And I think that he's just playing on that fact to try and get the people who are really ignorant in this country to join him. And to try to elect him again, because he knows that all the ignorant people always vote Conservative. So, I mean,
let's not go all the way there. Let's not go, because then we're doing the same thing. We can't say all conservative people who enjoy or like voting Conservatives are ignorant.
But listen, all Conservatives are going to vote Conservative.
Yes,
they're not going to vote Liberal. They're not going to vote NDP. Therefore, the most conservative in our country are only got one party to vote for. They're not going to vote Green Party.
Oh God, no!
It's like, so there's only one party for the traditionalist, the Christian, the person who's anti-Islamic, and then there's all the other parties. And so he wants to split the vote for everybody else, and he wants all the vote on that side to him.
And that's the problem in Canada with our government system is. We don't have a two-party system like the United States. We have a 4 or 5-party system. So a man can get into office with only winning 49% of the vote. Yeah. But yeah, he has a majority.
Well, Harper has 39% of the vote.
So but he still has majority.
He still has majority.
And that's not. I want to say that's not fair, but then our party system is based on our own thing, so we don't want to really adapt it and switch it and. Switch the rules in the middle of the game.
We can keep the party system. We just need proportional representation. Whereas the popular percentage of the vote, so the 39% that Stephen Harper got, would be the amount of seats he gets in the House. Therefore, he would not be a majority.
But then you're looking at that, it's like, well, then nothing's going to get done, Kerr, because that's what the Conservatives
Coalitions.
will tell you.
That's what the Liberals will tell you as well.
Exactly what I say. It's like, well, then nothing's going to get done, because no one has majority, and so they're all going to vote against each other, and then every time a vote comes up, it's going to be either.
But most
9 out of 10
parliamentary
times
systems
it goes
operate
in.
under that procedure. Only us in the UK are basically the ones that still operate under this. So like the Liberals will tell you the same thing. They'll say, "Oh, you can't get anything done," because the Liberals and the Conservatives are the only ones that benefit from the system right now, because they get majorities based on how many people are voting for those two parties. If they no longer had the system that we have now, then a majority of the parties would be smaller parties that would make up the majority, and the Liberals and the Conservatives would never get a majority ever again.
Well, it does seem like if you go back, and if I'm going to quote my favorite comedian here, Lewis Black. It's basically when you go in that polling system, you really do have two bowls of shit, and you just got to figure out which one smells worse or which one smells better. And and my dad always says, if you don't vote, you do not have a reason to bitch for the next 4 years. So, and that's just our system right now.
Yeah. Let's go on from this into the anti-terrorism bill, because.
Oh, don't you just love that bill?
Well, there's a lot of people are concerned about it because the bill itself is very vague as to what they consider terrorism, and one of the things that they consider terrorism is something that's challenging the economic stability of Canada, which a lot of people would equate to protesting, because a lot of protests do shut down a lot of commercial trading at the time of protest, like blocking streets. Especially tar sands protesting, because they usually blocked pipelines, like and the building of new tar sands projects. So people are wondering, like, okay, so when I go out and protest next, is that going to be considered terrorism? I mean,
I understand the whole blocking, like you're blocking other people, like my dad's a truck driver, and for a protest he was blocked in, and he had nothing to do with what they were particularly protesting. Mm-hmm. He was just bringing building materials to Toronto from Montreal's ports. So he was blocked, and he's like, well, what's the protest for? And I can't really remember what the protest was for, but odds are it was something to do with back when the Occupy Wall Street was going on.
Yeah.
So he's like, but none of my stuff is helping Wall Street. It's going to build. It's got, like, he had pieces to a hospital. Like he had a piece, like I think he had an elevator pieces for a hospital. He had other stuff on his truck that he needed to get to Toronto. They expected at a certain time. He was actually held up and stuck in that protest for about 3 hours. So I can understand the government's like, well, you can't block.
But is it terrorist?
But is it really terrorist act? No. Was my dad in any harm? No. Did my dad suffer inconvenience? Yes. But I think that was the point of the whole Occupy Wall Street.
Well, I think it's also funny because one of the things that they consider to be something that they can charge you for under the terrorist act is they have list all these things like economic instability, attacking persons of Canada, blah blah blah, and then they just have one down there that says terrorism.
It's very vague.
Yeah, so we don't even have a definition for terrorism yet, and then we're saying in our laws that terrorism is one of the things we could arrest you for. Well, what is terrorism? You haven't told us what terrorism is. There's no law that says tells us what terrorism is.
Maybe if we're all terrorists, then there are no terrorists. Maybe that's what it is. No, I don't know. But the fact is, that's a very wide open net that they're throwing in a river, just trying to catch everybody. And it's like,
and the second part that I had a problem with is that it says under the Intelligence Act or whatever, another part that they changed was that you could go to the person who runs CSIS or whatever can go to the minister and say, oh, here's the people we want to arrest, or here's the people we want to stop, or whatever like that, and then go, do we need a warrant for this? And the minister can reply, nah. So it's like, what? So they have a choice now to say, oh yeah, you don't need a warrant for this. And it's coming from the minister. It's not coming from Parliament. It's coming from a government minister who can just basically say, no, you don't need any warrant for that. Don't need to see a judge. Just go do it.
All right, well, that's our point of view. If you like it, if you agree with us, or do you have any other concerns or any other different opinions than we have, write in the comments below.
I'll read all the comments you put on. There's none there right now, so I would love to read some comments.
We just started the show a week ago, so let's see where we go.
All right.
We'll get you next week.
Subscribe.
Yeah,
don't forget to subscribe.
All right, we're signing off.